Hello, hello, hello. We are so back. Welcome back, everybody, to some Warlords, open source Warlords work. It's been a while since I streamed. Been a little while. So, I've still been working on Warlords, Arma 3 Warlord stuff. Mostly for EU11, the EU11 team. But it's not been like good stream content because it basically like someone posts a bug in Discord and I'm like, okay, it'll take me 2 minutes to fix that, and I just open up VS Code real quick, fix it, test it, ship it, and it's 10 or 15 minutes of work, which isn't like great stream content because there's no big projects to work on for U11, so I just haven't been streaming tomorrow because it feels a little silly to start a stream up for 15 minutes. But I've not been working on things as much as I would like. And apparently next weekend we might be getting the new build of EU11 might be coming out. So I figured this weekend I should probably get back started, like remember how to do things. Because it is a very perishable skill in like understanding the code base is very much a thing. So let's get our development environment going. Here's VS Code. Looks like there's a new version of VS Code out. Oh wow, it's been a while. This is the May 2024 patch notes. One of these days I'm actually gonna learn VS Code, except I also got Visual Studio. I was working on some C# stuff. I have Visual Studio now as well, so I need to learn that. I also got Visual Studio so I could, whenever I decide to buy a sub to Copilot, I can have a better integrated dev environment for AI stuff. Next up is GitHub. So I don't really have a plan tonight per se. We don't have any bugs to fix on EU11. But I just want to like get in here, work on stuff for a couple hours, look at code, understand what's going on. So if there's any hotfix stuff that comes up, because the way I kind of envision things happening is we're going to have a playtest. It's going to ship to U11. Something's going to break. And I'll probably have to do it because I think the other devs have kind of... I don't see them around much in the Discord. Pretty much anymore. Like, if I go look at the Discord right now, I'll see how many developers... So there's one coffee maker, but he hasn't actually worked on the mission at all. Like he did some like prototype stuff for us, but he never actually committed any code, which is a big sad. He's a really good developer, but yeah, he's literally the only one in the Discord right now. So let's see, what should we work on? Let's do this. So this project is kind of just I guess you could call it experimental version of EU11. Because right away when I started working on EU11, stuff started getting shot down by the project lead. That was, too experimental or something. So I went and branched off my own, like, experimental branch, which lets me just do crazy stuff, which is really good for learning. That's the best way to learn, is to just go do stuff. And that's where we're going to deny it. We're just going to fool around and see what happens. So how can I see if this is the correct? Let's go open folder. Okay, so we got it open. I never noticed this stuff down here. It's like it got added at some point. Okay. PAA, database. Here's all this stuff. Okay, so let's just start cleaning things up one thing at a time here. So it looks like we got a classified CA PAA. So let's copy. We're gonna see where this is called at. Custom ammo. Okay, so it looks like this stuff is part of the rearm system. Okay, so we can go get rid of that. Let's go find the rearm system and we'll scrap it. Okay, I think it's these GOMs, so we need to go find... So it's under scripts, GOMs. Okay, so if I get rid of these right here, and I get rid of this script folder, should be Gucci on this rearm. Then I can go through and get rid of those PAAs. Oh, I forgot to test chat out. Nope, looks like OBS. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's just a little bit delayed. Okay, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna save. We're gonna go in here and we're gonna get rid of documents. Arma 3. Okay, so I'm gonna delete that. Okay, and it deleted it out of there. Good stuff. So now let's start up. So we're gonna be doing a lot of testing tonight because I really need to make sure I don't break anything while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna have to test locally. Oh, thanks Steam for telling me. So we're gonna kind of just be pulling this code apart one little bit at a time, learning what's going on. And part of removing this script, I'm gonna have to go grab some code from Miller Edition because I fixed. So the whole reason the rearm script was initially added is because you couldn't rearm jets in the original Redux 0.57. And in Miller Edition, I fixed that bug with just a single line of code. It's going to be fun going back trying to find where I fixed it though. That was a long time ago, like years ago. Okay, this is good. We see a script error there for functions aircraft loadout init. Okay, so I need to go find out functions aircraft loadouts. So that means it's likely called somewhere. Ah, okay. Right, okay, so I didn't actually remove the where the function's getting called. Got it. So here's the actual where that error just popped up. Well, this is going to take a lot of peeling back to figure all this out. So it looks like they may have rewrote the interesting. So I'm gonna have to completely rewrite the rearm code for this. Okay, so let's start the mission up. See what other errors we get so I don't get ahead of myself here. Okay, because it can't find that script. It's the startup can't go. Okay, cool.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
Oh, it does go. That's great.
Select
And we
sector.
are at a helipad. Great. So we'll actually be able to call this in and figure this out. Aircraft.
Select sector. Sector selected. Select sector.
Okay, so I'm guessing he doesn't actually have a pilot, so I need to restore the crew code. Yeah, so what's missing, there used to be a script in the game which was asset landing. I have a feeling that's been deleted, so... So this is going to be really good. I'll be able to learn a lot, like getting back to digging the code. Okay, so first thing we need to do is... I think I could just completely get rid of this. But more importantly, we need to go find functions HPP. Get rid of that. Then we're going to go over here to this, and we're going to comment that out. This looks very similar to the old code, but I can definitely see it's a bit different. So it looks like it's... I may end up replacing this entire script here. I'll have to go look at Miller Edition to see how I did that. Cool, there we go. We fixed all the scripting errors.
Initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
So what I probably do need to do is get the helicopter thing fixed so I can actually...
Sector selected.
Because I kind of need the helicopters. That's a cool looking moon. Need the helicopters working so I can test this rearm thing. Okay, so let's go figure out... Seriously, think I can get rid of this entire communications menu file here. So let's go find that. It's communications menu. Delete. And let's do a quick save. Make sure we did not brick the mission. Okay, so I need to figure out where that file was called. Communications menu. Here we go. So it was right there. What is this? Oh, this is the earplug script. I should have started with this. The earplug script. This is much simpler to work with. That'll be the next thing we do, but for the time being, I chose to take on a very big project to start with.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
Okay, looks like we cleared up all the script errors. So I can push this up to GitHub.
Sector selected.
I'll go ahead and close this out. Gotta go, so before we push it, we got to go check a few extra things. So I gotta go jump into the RPT file. .628, that's us right there. And let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. Okay, and here's us initializing the mission. And no errors. That is absolutely great. This is this bug right here, this wrong color formatting. This is why I started the experimental branch. I need to like do some extreme stuff to try to track down where this is coming from. And there was no way I was going to be able to do that on the actual U11 mission. So that was actually my goal, was to bug fix. So I can, because I might have to like nuke the entire map code in order to try to figure out what is causing this, because there's literally thousands of these bugs or errors in the mission. And you have to be like, when you're messing around with the U11 code, you have to be super careful that you don't introduce any new bugs. So I really do need just a Okay, up next we got to go figure, I need to initialize the landing script, which should be pretty easy. I just gotta go find Okay, no functions, subroutine, and it is sub asset landing right there. And I think I'm going to need to rename it to a function. Okay, so I now have this, and I need to toss it into the compile. So we need functions, 2. Probably sub, right? Okay, so here's all my sub files. So we're gonna take one of these. We're gonna go over here. And I'll talk you guys through what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go to my subroutines and see sub asset landing. Sub asset landing, we're going to copy relative path back up here, boom. And save. So okay, now that sub-asset landing is going to get pre-compiled at the start of the mission. So now what we need to do, we need to go to the order air over here. So I already have the order air script open because I was working on this earlier. And what I need to do next is file, open file. I go to Miller Edition. To functions, server, and before this got broken out into the order air, it used to be handle client or process client request. And then I'm going to click here and I'm going to split to the right. I'm going to close that. So now I have it right here and I can go through the function order error on this side and I can go through the side by side right here. So we see right here is class error. Then I just need to find the so it looks like so taxi nodes is a good one. Okay, so this else statement right here corresponds with this else statement right there. And I need to add some comments. So I need to add a bunch of comments to this code. So So this section of the code is for spawning aircraft on airfields. And to make this super easy for myself, what I'm going to do is over here, I'm going to match my comments up between these two missions so I can quickly in the future, I can really fast match up parts of the code, because I'm going to be referencing this old code because I did a bunch of improvements to the airplane spawning code over the years. I need to refactor all this as a switch statement, but okay, so this would be my heli spawn code. So it looks like this code is for spawning VTOLs on the ground at an airfield. Okay, and here's the line of code I actually need right here for the but first I have to find the helicopter spawn code. Okay, I think I found it. And again, I'm just matching up the code bases so I can reference this faster next time. Okay, and after create vehicle is created in set direction. Okay, so now I want this right here, and I need to change this name. Let's be function. Need to find a different file here. Let's do arsenal setup or Dazzler action. Okay, cool. So you do use the call command. Got it. Well, I could sit here and, you know, what I am worried about is the top of this, like which values are, okay. So I need sender, oh, it's class, interesting. But he does use asset. Okay, so asset, it's their class, let's look up class. So I think class name is going to be a issue for us. So let's look up class name. Because I don't see class name being passed in here. It looks like it's being passed as a class instead. Okay, so the only reference inside the order error is class name, so... Oh, sorry about that. I had the wrong mute button there. Okay, that's the right mute button. Okay, so what we're going to need to do, we're going to need to refactor class name into class. So let's just get ahead of the game here. This is interesting. So he looks like it was changed at some point from class name to just class, but he only did it in some of these scripts. Huh. That's really interesting. So we need to go through and I should probably go through and homogenize this on the entire mission, but I'll save that for another day. Alright, good stuff. So if it did this correctly, I got ahead of all the errors that are going to kick out, and we should have the sub-asset landing is going to create a crew for us. So here's where it's creating the crew, and then it's going to have them create a waypoint. And they should land a helicopter this time. But changing that class to class name may have broke everything, so we're going to go find out. Okay, let's load it up.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
I love randomized start times. They're awesome. So let's spawn in a helicopter and let's see what happens. So what we expect is if we get an error, it's going to be related to class or class name error.
Select sector.
Yep, there we go. Call sender else. Undefined variable and expression sub-asset landing. Okay. So from the looks of that, we had a error coming from probably when it's passing parameters between those two scripts. That's what I think just happened there. Or I might have just forgot a semicolon. So why is it starting the error at set direction 0? So it's saying the error is right there, but it should not be. So I have asset is defined. I have class. Oh, you know what? It's looking for a class name, I think. I need class name. Yeah, I thought that was going to be where our error is. So what I think is happening is it's looking for a text. Let's look up create vehicle real quick. No, class is a text, like a quote. Okay. Let's look up sender. I completely lost where I was. Let's do this right here. And look up sub-asset landing. See if I missed something here. So I'm passing an asset sender class. Let's see how they're doing some other calls in this mission. So what I'm looking for is a call request that has multiple like inputs. Okay. Are using brackets? Yep. It's kind of weird because in the error message it has private right there. But I don't see anything. Oh, maybe I did the sub-asset landing wrong. Oh, you know what? I probably did that wrong. This might just be literally be a typo. It is a typo. That's hilarious. Also added in weather. So yeah, what you saw right there is a product of like just lack of recency. And that's why I wanted to get into this before the update goes live to EU11. So next weekend, if the update goes live, I'm way more practiced about just going through and debugging things, not making typos. Yeah, that was definitely like the whole goal of making this little experimental branch. It's just so I can play around and keep, keep muscle memory going, kind of thing. I think so. We were trying to 6 months ago in the U11 project, we were trying to bring in some new developers, and they're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. It's interesting. The sector disappeared. Oh, there it is. It just got really faint. Okay. Okay, line 96. Okay, we're not passing something into this correctly. I think it's class that is causing the issue here. So what we need to do, we need to go look up class name. Okay, so let's try something a little bit different here. We're gonna roll this back to class name. And I need to find the order error. What line are we on? 480, okay. Where's class name set? Okay, so it's pulling from the request asset. So whatever's calling order error, we need to pass in this parameter. So I need to look up order error. Okay, so right here in this handle client request, I need class name. Actually, no, class should be working right here. Yeah, he just 1-for-1 swapped class name with class, so I really shouldn't need that. We're doing something else wrong here. So let's go to, I guess I don't know what I'm doing wrong at this spot. So I'm passing in class. I really think it's class that's messing everything up here, but just checking over for typos and stuff. That has to be class. May have to go to using print statements or something here. So I know class is a text, and asset is actual object because we're creating it right there. And we're setting the direction of it. Yeah, I don't see any typos. We got all our semicolons. So let's check this section of the code right here. Make sure I don't have any typos. Oh yeah, we definitely have a typo somewhere there. Okay, so let's go figure this out. So what I did there, I copied this front section, function Warlords 2 sub, and I put it into the search function, and I didn't find that anywhere else, which means so we do have a typo, okay. So what? So it's supposed to be written like this. I think. Let's keep looking. Okay, and let's go look for this file, purchase menu get scale. Looking for Warlords core, go, functions, subroutines, purchase menu get scale. Okay. So we did have a typo. That was the problem. All right. I wasn't going completely crazy. I had no idea you needed the... That's interesting. All these files are named FN, but when you call them, they're called bis function and Warlord subasset. That's really strange. Because you can see none of these... Oh. Yeah, that's how you do it. I feel like I should go through and rename all the files FNC instead of FN, but... Actually, when we get this working, we're going to go test that. I'm going to change that file name to FNC so it matches this. Because the way I work, I tend to do or copy relative path thing. And that's going to break a lot.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
I'm kind of thinking about it. If you have to put the bis in front of it anyways, because you're calling a function, guess you'll just learn the hard way that you have to do bis function sub or Warlords 2 sub.
Sector selected.
Is this a helipad? It is.
Select sector.
Okay, we got, looks like a new error. Nope. Undefined variable in expression. So we're no longer getting the private error that we were getting earlier, which is good. So we changed something, because earlier it was saying private something something. Okay, so let's go through. So this is where it's saying that error starting is right there. So I'm going to comment that out. And I think I'm going to comment this out too. I think what I may do, if I can't get this working in the next couple minutes, I may temporarily revert helicopters back to spawning on the ground. Because I got the code that I need in the mission, I just gotta figure out how to make it work, which...
Select sector.
My knowledge of how to pass variables and SQF is pretty limited. So what I would actually need to do is go through and just do a couple print statements real quick. So what we're testing right here is we want it to spawn, crash with no scripting errors. That's our goal right now. So
Select sector.
okay, perfect. So it spawns in, it doesn't have a crew, and then it crashes, but we got no scripting errors. So we know for 100% fact that call, that function call we're trying to do is where the error is coming from. So that's good. So what we can do is we will file that away. Make a new note here. Or to do. Make myself a little checklist here in Obsidian. Get sub asset landing working. Okay, so I made myself a little checklist and I added this to our to-do list for a future us. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna correct this so if anybody does download this mission that they actually can access the helicopters. So what we're gonna do is set this to none. And it should basically spawn the helicopter on the ground with no crew. And then we can move on to some new projects. I think the next thing we'll work on is probably earplugs. I think that's all we should have started with was earplugs. Something really simple and easy.
Select sector.
There we go. We spawned ourselves in a little bird. So okay. So the mission now is in a safe state. And we can push this to GitHub. Good stuff. No scripting errors. And we'll close that since we're doing a push. We'll do one last quick check of the RPT file before we push. Always, always, always do that. Okay, here's the initialization line right there. This is the first town spawning and no errors. Awesome. So this is good to push. Refactored. Code and documents. Documented a bunch of the code. Alright, next up, what should we work on? I think I said we were going to do earplugs. So we're going to close that file out. Close requisition. I set up. Okay, what is the next thing we should do? I close a bunch of this out so I can follow along with what I was doing. Okay, so next up is GF earplugs. GF earplugs. So let's go through earplug. Okay, this is initialized in the init SQF. So if I completely get rid of that, it'll no longer call the earplug script, but then we got a bunch of other files we need to work on. Okay, so I got rid of so we're not going to remove the oh, we probably should remove these actually. We'll get around to that later on though. Okay, titles. So it appears title HPP only is calling the earplug script, so we can get rid of titles HPP. Titles HPP. I'm going to delete that. So now, since we deleted that file, we need to go in here and find titles. Here we go. Here's the description. We're going to get rid of that. Then we got to go back through and find the earplug files. Okay, so this is a init client side. So this is initializing it on the client side. We're gonna get rid of that. Looks like it was double compiling that file. This file is no longer in our mission, so I think we can actually just completely get rid of this file. No, we want to keep this. This is a really good reference on how to set up UI stuff, so we're going to keep that. So scripts GF earplug, okay. Scripts GF earplug, scripts GF. Okay, looks like the last reference to that is going to be inside the scripts folder. And GF earplugs, delete that. So now when we go back to our search, so the only reference we have to that script anymore is the string table, which we'll keep, and the welcome screen, which we don't use. I should just comment all this out so I know I'm not using it. Yeah, I got a little note at the top, but we should probably... Sounds like my music stopped as well. Okay, that way if I ever bump into this script again, I know nothing in there is being used. And we have it marked up at the top for refactor. Okay, awesome. Give me 1 second. I need to... Okay, I just grabbed a random music playlist. I don't really like this very much though. God. It's like a little bit too chill for me. Sound of the City, we'll try this. So yeah, Chill Hop completely changed how they do their music. So I'm still trying to figure out the whole like new music thing. I may end up getting a different licensed music.
Why don't you just chill out and listen? You got things on your mind that worry you? Keep you awake?
No, I just don't sleep.
Right?
You don't sleep?
I don't sleep. I don't sleep much. I don't sleep.
Bad rhythm for rap is baptism, and it might save souls if masses have listened. Phonics on the track, the brass is in the pocket.
Hopefully this is not too freaking loud for you guys, this music. I think I got it set pretty low, so it's just kind of like a background thing. Just kind of covers up all my dead air time. Okay, so I honestly have never used the earplug script, so I'm just gonna assume it's not here if
Sector.
This would be the next thing we get rid of, I think. Oh no. This should be the next thing we get rid of. That airplane stuff. Group system. Something else for us to get rid of. Okay, it appears that we did that perfectly. We're getting better. That's why we're doing this. Warming up for next weekend. We'll do a quick check of the RPT file to make sure we didn't break anything. Hey, I need to see if I can find a... I'm literally just trying out like random playlists right now, trying to There we go. This one should be kind of chill. Has the raccoon on it. Ooh, speaking of raccoons, I was going out for a bike ride this morning, and there was like a baby raccoon just chilling out in front of my front door, and like at first I didn't notice, like I was carrying my bike down the stairs, and there was a little like fuzzball sitting there. I was like, what's going on here? And then I'm like walking by, all of a sudden like he like pulls his little head out. He was curled up in a ball, pulls his head out, looks at me. I'm like, whoa, dude. Because like 2 years ago, it was the same thing. It was morning time. I was going for a bike ride, and like there was baby raccoons, and I ran into their mom raccoon, and it was mom raccoon basically attacked me on my as I was carrying my bike by. I was like, bro, this is not cool. As soon as I saw it was a raccoon, I kind of freaked out. I was like, nope. I know your mom's around somewhere. But he was just chilling, dude. I like had to walk like all the way around the building to get out. I went for a bike ride, came back. He'd still chilling there. And like 30 minutes after I like came home, his mom finally came back and picked him up, carried him away. I was like, dude, what's going on? Okay, did we push this to GitHub? I don't think we did. Okay, remove. Removed earplug script. Okay, we're knocking them out one by one. Should we do the APS? I think we should do APS next. Well, APS is kind of a big one though, but should be pretty easy. Only because I see it right here in front of me, so. So I guess if we delete APS right there, and I delete the folder for APS, okay, so now we just got to go find all the other references to it. Okay, so we got APS distances here. We can delete those. Functions API. Okay, so functions. This is the big one I keep forgetting. It's functions. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, this is a string table. We'll always leave those in case we ever add this stuff back. Oh no, APS. APS is the same thing as map scale. RIP. What is going on here? This definitely looks like it's related to the APS system. But cycle thrown items. Okay, so it seems like the APS system was a client-side system. Huh, interesting. So I think we can get rid of all of this. Let's just double check real quick. The rest of these are... Okay, so that's... Could definitely get rid of that. Definitely get rid of this. Okay, this is the file that used to be the rearm file. Yeah, this is where you actually fix the... So this new asset handle, I think this is where you go and fix, where I fix the rearm. So we'll eventually, when we circle back to the rearm script to clean that up, the last little bits of that, we'll add the fix into this file. Okay, everything else seems to be map scale. What is this? Trees auto collapse? Okay, all these one-liners I'm very comfortable taking out. Alright. Let's spawn this in and let's see what... So, okay, we've gotten rid of, other than the string table, we've gotten rid of... Let's just do one final check. Okay, I think I've got, yep, I got rid of every reference to APS. So now the fun part is going to be starting the mission up and seeing what we actually missed. Because I'm pretty sure there was some UI elements that we didn't touch. Because I remember last time I drove a tank on this mission, I have a little UI element popped up telling me I had, 6 charges of APS or something. I'm not sure if it popped up after I... Yep, there we go. Define vehicles, yep. Define vehicles, okay.
Warlords protocol
So let's actually
initialized.
jump in and spawn a
Voting for the
vehicle.
next
Double
sector.
check.
Select sector.
So what is a vehicle that has... I think it was a Marsh or Slammer I drove last time.
Sector selected.
So define vehicle is the only area we've gotten so far. So that means some other part of the code that I didn't look at is trying to call a define vehicles for the APS system, and it's not seeing that, so we'll just have to go through and remove that reference real quick. But what I'm interested now, I want someone to shoot a missile at me because there was a UI element somewhere on the screen when that happened. That's what I think I missed. Yeah, I miss working on Warlords stuff. Kind of excited for that next update. Just stay engaged kind of thing. Oh, we got a lot of AI over here. This is good. Yeah, something else I want to do, I want to rewrite this. There we go. So I don't see the UI element and it hit me. It's good. Let's let another guy shoot at us. Did not damage me though. Kind of worries me. Oh. That was really loud. That was really loud. Okay, so no UI element popped up, which I kind of sort of remember from the server, so I think I did that correctly. So let's go find that define vehicle. And we'll push that updates, and then I'm gonna take probably about a 5-minute break to just get up and walk around. Only because, like, I was doing lakes today, dude, and if I sit down on one spot for too long, I'm gonna completely lock up. So let's... Had a good workout today, though. I was actually trying to break my top speed, like in the last couple years, like post-COVID. But I had groceries, like, when I was on my bike, and I didn't even come close. I was like, dude. Because I can normally cruise around, like, 24 miles an hour, and I was like, I'm gonna, like, sprint, do 26 miles an hour today. Yeah, it was not happening with like 20 pounds of groceries. I did not even come close. Like I hit 22 pretty easy, but I was there was no 26 miles an hour today. Define vehicles. Okay, there's nothing in the mission file. Oh. Okay, let's go look at the error message and try to figure this out. I cannot wait till we get to the point where we can fix this wrong color format. Warning message, scripts, APS, define vehicles not found. Okay. So my question is, where is that getting called from? So let's look at vehicle lock action. That's our next. Vehicle lock action. Okay. This does not seem to have any reference to APS. Okay, it does not. So why am I getting that error if that's not called anywhere? Ah, I found it. We forgot to save the init file. Gotcha. Yep, that was it.
Warlords protocol initialized.
We forgot to save.
For the next sector.
So APS is Gonzo.
Select sector.
Tell you what, let's spawn a vehicle and then double check our RPT file. It's always better to I think I need to adjust the start time of this mission too. I feel like my get too many night times.
Sector selected.
Choo choo. Just gotta let somebody shoot at me. Just to double check there's no remnants of the APS code still trying to run when someone fires at me. Actually, seriously, vote Telos as AO. There we go. And these Titans aren't hurting my Slammer, but so I've never had a Slammer survive 3 Titan AT shots, but kind of worries me a lot. Something might be else going on. They have so few AT people in these missions. Okay, someone shot an RPG from behind me. That's good. Oh, it's hitting the ERA plates. Got it. Okay. So you get, it's definitely hitting the tank because it's hit my ERA plates up front. There we go. Yeah. Okay. We've definitely confirmed that the Slammer is killable. We've completely removed the APS, which is awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a quick double check of the RPT file. We're going to push that to GitHub, and then I'm going to go stretch my legs for like 10 minutes. Not 10 minutes, like 5 minutes. And then we're going to come back and keep working on debugging stuff. Just keeping ourselves warmed up. I really should look into the... Tell you what, next thing we'll do as soon as I get back, we're going to look at the mission start time. Because I have the randomization of the start time geared, so I should almost never get nighttime, but we've gotten like 3 night times tonight. So I need to double check the mission start time. So we'll do that as soon as we push this and I get back. Because I think if I remember right, I have it 90% daytime, 10% nighttime, and I think we've got almost 50% nighttime tonight. So let's jump on, check the RPT files. Okay, here's the start of the mission loading. This is the first town spawning. And we can see here we have no errors at all. Nailed it. Let's go. Wow, the number of files I just got rid of in this mission is crazy. It's always fun when I do these like trimming exercises. And then afterwards, seeing how small the mission got. Actually, these PAA files. Remember earlier today we were talking about the PAAs? Where'd all those PAA files go? Okay, so this classified CA. Classified. So I think we got rid of the rearm stuff, so I think we could get rid of these. I think. We'll try it when we get back. So I'm gonna crank the music up for you guys. Let's find a good song before I go. Okay, these are some chill vibes, so I'll crank the music up for you guys, and I'll be back in probably like 2 minutes. I just gotta like open up my windows and just grab a new drink, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, I definitely need to get up, man. I went way too hard on the bike today. Like, my legs were already locking up. I was like, ooh. Okay, so let's see if we can get rid of these little pictures. So we need to do a quick search for this file. See if we can find any reference. Okay, so the only reference I see to these classes are this file right here. So what we're gonna do, be safe. Now we're just gonna YOLO this. We're gonna full on delete these. We're gonna save. We're gonna start the mission and we're gonna see what happens. Don't remember if I actually loaded the mission or not. I was checking Discord real quick. Let's go. So I'm just kind of ruminating a bit what we should work on next. Like, I think we're making really good progress on.
Protocol initialized.
Okay.
Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
I feel like, so those two things we removed, I think had something to do with rearm. So what we're going to do, we are going to spawn in a rearm truck.
Sector selected.
Okay, so ammo. And then we are going to spawn in some kind of other vehicle. Modify rearm. There we go. Okay, so we need to find so what we just removed, I think, was this, whatever was on this screen. So we need to remove all of this. Interesting that it's still working. Client rearming. Rearm. So what we need to do is figure out, first up we need to do is this modify rearm button. Get rid of that. There's a lot we have to do left. This is, I think I'm gonna save that for another time. Like that rearm system got way too integrated into the mission. Okay, so next up we should probably find the... Okay, our goal was actually to delete this file, so... That was actually the... Yeah, some of this stuff is like so interlocked now on this mission. It is going to take a... So this is the file I need to work on. Actually, it looks like a whole bunch of these. Oh, Raider Operate. I think we'll keep this Raider Operate one. So, rearm action. So this previously was integrated into the mission, the core part of the mission, if I remember correctly. I don't want to mess with that too much right now. There's a lot of stuff we got to... So logistics, add action. Let's do logistics, because logistics is not something I was in. Yep, okay, we can. Okay, we can definitely, this is something we can definitely fix. All right, so what we got here is a oh, I see how they're doing this. Oh, okay. So new asset handle. All right, this is good. So new asset handle is still. So what they've done is instead of incorporating the way Miller Edition did it, I had my rearm error stuff in new asset handle. So what they are doing is they're calling. So they divided the stuff out. Since they added a bunch more stuff here, they're now divided it out into other scripts and calling those scripts. Okay, cool. So if I get rid of this right here, boom. Okay. And then I get rid of this right here. And I get rid of the logistics file itself. Or was the logistics file? Yeah, it was definitely logistics add Adam. Okay, delete that. Okay, so now we need to just look up logistics. So I need to rip that out of there. What is he doing right here? Why does he have add actions on medical stuff? Okay, the medical stuff will be next. Alright, so let's see everything we just did there. So I got rid of logistics, I got rid of the logistics add item, I got rid of logistics from the new asset handle. Okay, let's do a quick startup. Oh, you know what I should work on? I should work on that little timer thing, like the mission restart timer.
Warlords protocol initialized.
Oh, I forgot I was speaking of time. I need to work on, yeah, this. So
Select sector.
okay, so we need to spawn in one of these little logistics trucks. I think it was a flatbed or something. Yeah, flatbed. Okay, we got no error, and there is
Sector
no.
selected.
Seems to be no, yeah, no add action stuff. So okay, so we got rid of that. But what we need to do next is actually remove. So we need to go through and remove this from the requisition file for both teams. Just driving this into the AO so it can get blown up. I can respawn and I can check the RPT file. After you check RPT, we need to go into the requisition file and remove it. We're going to do another quick test. We got to remove flatbed, and actually should probably just go through the requisition file right now and make a note of everything that looks like it's, because we're going to do whatever the medical thing is, we're going to remove that too. So anything that looks like it's medical or logistics related, we'll remove all those in just one big fell swoop. I'll basically just do a requisitions audit, I guess you could say. Okay, people shooting at me. This is good. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so let's go do the requisition file real quick. Okay, we're at the requisition file. Let's go up to Blue 4. Blue 4 vehicles. Unarmed. Delete. I'm just going to do like a full audit of this to make sure there's nothing silly in here. Tempest devised. I don't know what that does, but it's the wrong class. It's getting deleted. Flatbed. Deleted. Oh, we can get rid of all these defense items too. Yeah. Delete. These HMG raised, we actually need to go through and lower the center of mass on these things because they tip over too much. Holy balls, dude. These things are... We're changing the price of some of these UGVs, man. Okay, so that was all the stuff for West. We're gonna do East now, which is Op 4. Campus device. Delete. Flatbed. Delete. Get rid of all these defense items. And we're gonna add a 0 to all these UAVs or UGVs, because that's crazy. Alright, so that was our requisition audit. Super fast requisition audit. So we removed all reference to logistics. We removed all the items that were used for the logistics system. So let's do one super fast check. We're just going to jump in. We're going to check the requisition file. And then I'll do a quick check of... We'll spawn... No, we don't need to spawn anything in. We just need to open up the requisition file. Look at it. And...
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
I need to refactor this map too. Get rid of all these. Okay, good stuff.
Sector selected.
Probably get rid of this. You know what? Let's get rid of quad bikes too while we're at it. Quad bikes I'll just comment out. I won't completely get rid of them. Kind of want to get rid of that transport too. Kind of declutter in the Okay, there we go. Did some decluttering. Save that, and we'll push all this up to GitHub. Remove Logi system. Okay, next up we need to jump into the editor and we need to double check the start time of the mission. So we need the mission to start at midnight. Settings. Okay, that was not what I needed. Attributes, general. Attributes, environments. Ah, here's a problem. Right here. So this should be 00, 0, 0. Let's save. Okay, so this should solve our nighttime problem thing. So we'll run about 10 games to make sure majority of these games are daytime.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
Okay, 10 a.m. I probably won't actually start 10 full games. I'll probably do like 5.
Protocol initialized.
Okay, we got
Voting for
7:30.
sector. Select sector.
This is already looking much better than before. Oops, oops, oops. Clicked back too many times.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
9:42.
Select sector.
That's perfect.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
17:46. Okay, that's great. Nighttime or evening start. Okay, one more time. Although I'm already 99% sure this is good because we haven't got a nighttime. Okay, 14:30. We'll spawn in, just double check.
Initialized.
Yep, 14:31.
Next sector. Select sector.
Making progress. This is awesome. It really is enjoyable working on missions. Um, 90% day. Okay, randomized start time is now 90% day. Back to the way I had originally set it up. So next up, we are going to work on that timer that's down in the bottom corner of the UI. So I think it has something to do with this module countdown right here. Remaining time 3600. Okay, so this is what we need to look for. All right, so here is the actual thingamajig. And this is the script that is okay. So function warlord timer script. Huh, that is interesting. So, wow, okay. They wrote this function warlords timer, which is not actually tied to the... Huh. What is this module doing then? Okay, now I'm intrigued. So this module does not... This module with the countdown timer does not appear to have anything to do with the actual UI display. So we're going to do a little test here. I'm going to take this module, delete it. Because if I'm reading that code right, that little UI part of the module does not do anything related to the... There's been a module running on this. That is hilarious. Yup. They literally had that timer module running on the server. It is doing nothing. That is really funny, dude. So that's the kind of stuff this is the kind of stuff you find when you like start actually like be like, hey, I'm just gonna start yeeting stuff off this. You find these weird bits of just completely unused tech that have been sitting there running on this mission. I really wonder what that was doing. So it was a countdown module on the map. I'm guessing what had happened is it was like part of the early technology they were using. They were trying to use the module to count down, and literally nobody's figured out. Holy balls, dude. Literally nobody, everybody sees the module on the map. They're like, oh, it must be part of the countdown timer because it actually matches up the little UI down here. So my question, wonder if there's some way I could test that. So if I put the module back and I skip time 10 hours. Let's see if we can figure this out. Whoa. Holy moly, what was that? Somebody subscribed. How does that work? Wow, thanks, whoever that was. I had no idea I had subscriber alerts set up. That's really awesome. So unfortunately, we got rid of... Okay, so we're gonna go to this file. So I want to undo. Nope. So I want to undo that change. I want to see what's actually happening here. I think I can fix this. Hang on. So we're going to close this mission. So we're actually going to test to see what that timer module on the mission was doing. Because it looks like right now that module was doing absolutely nothing. And it's just been sitting there. So I'm going to discard changes right here. And what that should do, okay, so we just brought the module back. I did it via the actual code here in the mission SQM file. So we're gonna jump in here when we reload the mission. Actually, what we're gonna do. So this function timer right here, which is this is what's actually setting it up on the UI. We're gonna get rid of this code. We're gonna jump into the mission, because this is the code that's definitely ending the mission right here. I think. Actually, I don't know. I don't see anything in here that says... Let's do a little more searching. Just look up timer. Okay, that's map stuff. Okay, this is the actual timer. I'm trying to figure out what's actually ending the mission. So this code appears to only be using... This is purely a UI setup. So 3600. Oh, I'm really trying to figure out which one of these is actually ending the mission, because it doesn't look like either one of these is ending the mission. So let's do mission end. I think mission end is a command here. I am so confused right now. I'm seeing a whole bunch of code that's doing stuff to make it look like the mission's ending, but it doesn't appear the mission actually ends. Okay, tell you what, let's just jump into the mission. Let's not change anything. Let's jump into the mission. We're going to do I don't know if a skip time is going to work. We're going to try to do a skip time 10 hours and see if the mission actually ends. Because I'm definitely not seeing anything in any of these timers that says the mission actually ends.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
Okay, so let's test this out. How do you get to debug? So if I remember right, it was skip time 1.
Sector selected.
Okay, that does not appear to affect the countdown timer. That is a bummer. So let's do some quick Googling. Arma 3, skip time. Okay, so I'm looking at skip time right now. We're looking to dang, so it looks like you can change the date in the game, but you can't actually make huh. Okay, so there's other ways we can work around this. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna set this skip timer or the mission end timer, so we can't jump forward physical time. But what I can do is go here to 3600. So what I can do is set this to 60 seconds. So this function timer, we have now changed it from 3600 seconds, which was 10 hours, to 60 seconds. So basically, as soon as we load into the game, this timer is gonna go off, and we will be able to understand if it's actually doing anything. And I'll test that, then I'll test the actual module to 60 seconds. And we'll see what happens.
Warlords protocol.
Because I get the feeling right now both these things are doing nothing. Okay, we got 40 seconds left. $30 seconds. $20 seconds. Five seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Ba-boom! Ba-boom? Like, so the countdown module just stopped after 60 seconds. Okay. All right. This is hilarious. This literally does nothing. Okay, so let's search timer, maybe. Okay, that's starting the timer. Okay, this is... Okay, let's look up duration. So I'm looking up duration because I vaguely remember something out of mission duration. So if they're just faking the mission duration here, this is... What in the world? I am so confused right now. Okay, let's Google. Let's do some Googling because I am so lost right now. Set mission duration. Arma 3. Mission parameters, here we go. Okay, it's set in the description. Mission parameters are set in the description AC. Okay, time limit. Time limit's what we're looking for. Dude, I don't see anything that actually is ending the mission here. Yeah, there literally does not appear to be yeah. Oh, here we go. Game starts. No? Yeah, I literally see nothing in here. This is wild, dude. Yeah, absolutely nuts. Yep, sure enough, there's nothing that's ending the mission at 3600. So let's go change this to, we're gonna drop this down to 60 seconds. Let's save it. So maybe that countdown module will just auto ends the mission. That's got to be it. It's got to be like a engine level function that ends the mission when that countdown timer goes.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the
So we're gonna let this run. I'm gonna go AFK for a couple seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, interesting. So it is the countdown module that actually ends the mission. That's cool. We learned something new today. And we also learned... Get the fuck out. So we're going to also remove that timer. Functions client. Timer. Delete. And we're going to go get rid of the compilation. Oh, this is... Oh my god, I'm an idiot, dude. Dude, I'm so stupid. The sub... Man, I'm dumb. Sub-asset landing. I forgot to change the actual name over here. Derp. But that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Like at the start of the stream, we need to get back into the practice of doing stuff. So I remove init client. Move this. Okay, that sector handle. I'll be open because it doesn't exist. Okay, there we go. So we got rid of the timer.
We brought levity to each other's lives. But there's a lot more to life than that, and I realized that in these last few years.
Yeah, dude, this is so dumb that it was literally a typo that was causing our asset thing earlier. Dude, I knew. I literally knew I had all that stuff set up correctly. But this is why I tell people when they're new to just like get in and do stuff. Because the more you fiddle around with things, the more like kind of like, oh duh. Like that stumped me for what, an hour or something, and then I went back to that file, and as soon as I looked at the file, I was like, oh god, I'm an idiot, dude.
Sector selected.
Okay, so we now have no more time limit on the mission. Great. So I'll tell you what, we'll push that up to GitHub. Check our RPT file super fast. And then we'll go finish the asset landing thing since I freaking made a typo. Yep, there we go. Clean as a whistle. Alright, so let's go get helicopters working. Close all of this. We're just going to close all this. I know exactly which file we need to work with. So we need server side, client request, order error. Down here. Doot, doot. And then we're going to copy paste this into our search bar. This is what I'm doing right now is doing a spell check. So we see initialize client. Come over here. We see, whoop. So we see this matches right there. And we see it also matches right there. So that's how we kind of know it's a really good habit to get into to make sure you don't make typos. Oh, except you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to put them in the air. Air, fly.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector.
Okay, let's vote for
Select
something.
sector.
Give ourselves some CP. Run up on this hill so we can watch our helicopter crash. So if I did this right, there should be...
Selected.
I'm not even gonna say I did this right.
Sector.
Oh, did I do it right? I did do it right. Let's go. Who's your daddy? Me. After I quit making typos. Let's go. Mwah. Perfect. Dude, I'm so good at this game. So good. I'm about to be so not good at this game. I'll fly over this AO and get blasted. I actually want to get on the real server and play some games now. I feel like I made some insanely good progress today. Oh, that's a tree. But you know what I should do? I should be on Reforger practicing. Like, I really need to set up a training mission on Reforger. Because that's how I learned to fly. On Arma 3, I spent like an entire week and I sent a little training mission up here on Altus. And what I did, I'll show you. I set little waypoints up at every single one of these little churches. So I'll show you. Oh, little shithead just shot me. Okay, maybe I won't show you. But yeah, each one of those little churches, tiny little outposts, I set markers up and I literally went through and just flew to every single one of them and boop, 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 boop. Made me actually really good at taking off and landing. I should say takeoff and landing in a very constrained environment. Like I set like a thing I used a 5 meter like error zone. So if I landed outside of 5 meters from the church, I considered that a failed landing. Had to like take off, go back and do it again. Okay, helis can now land. Sweet. We are absolutely crushing this. But what's next? I think let's make a little note. So we got that working. Delete this. Fully remove, rearm, menu, and restore. Okay, fully remove, rearm menu, and restore the old menus. This is something we still have to do because we're only like halfway through removing the rearm system. But let's go through and look those PAAs again, because that was what we actually started all this. We saw those PAAs and we wanted to get rid of them all. So database, do database, database, CA. Okay, whatever file was calling database CA is no longer in the mission, so we can delete that. So discord.ca. Controls, okay. So we're looking for Mr. Thomas Discord image. Which is just referencing itself. So we can delete that. And we can go through here, delete that. Let's do a quick startup to make sure we didn't break anything. Nice, we didn't get any errors. So
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting
that's
for the
exactly what
next
we were looking for.
sector.
Just gonna take these out one file at a time. Boop, boop, boop. At the end of the night, I think we'll load this up on the dedicated server. Got that up and running already. Okay, let's go. Unused files. And we're just gonna keep going one by one. Make this mission as small as possible. Oh, this seems to be part of... What is this? Oh, I think this is part of the group menu. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely part of the... Huh. So invites out. So this is part of the group system. Okay, so let's add this to our to-do list. Remove group system. All right, so we know those signia. All right, I literally don't see this referenced anywhere in the mission. I delete that. Redux welcome. Right, that is referenced. Okay. So Warlords logo. So we're gonna itemize that one out, and then we're gonna see what happens. I expect to get an error here, but I'm not sure what error I'm gonna get, because I think that was part of the ordering UI. But we kind of just gotta go music. I forgot the music. We need to just go file by file and just see what we can move. Just chuck everything.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
Okay, awesome. It appears that did not affect anything, so... And then we're gonna get rid of the file completely. So we need toggle right and toggle left. Okay, that is referenced nowhere in the code. Okay, so we're at the Betty. Betty and Rita. Interesting, these two seem to feed into each other. So if I get rid of Betty and Rita, which are going to be functions client, so there's Betty, delete. And there's Rita, delete. And then I get rid of the call for them. There we go. And I get rid of the compile. Okay, so we've removed everything about Betty. Let's remove Rita. Sound loops. Okay. Get rid of all of this. All right, so save, save, save. Let's jump into the game and spawn something in. Absolutely killing it tonight, literally. I gotta go to bed soon though. I gotta get up in a couple hours.
Warlords protocol initialized. Voting for the next sector. Select sector.
So let's spawn a aircraft of some type.
Select sector. Sector selected.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go jump in the cockpit of this real quick just to make sure. Okay, cool. I'm pretty comfortable that this is working correctly. Yeah, I'm way too out of practice. I used to be able to like perfectly land on top of these things. Yeah, not anymore, man. I'm sloppy. I need to go actually get on the server and play. Okay, I think we made pretty good progress. I gotta get up in just a couple hours. I need to wrap this up. Moved Betty and Rita. But yeah, we're making really good progress on this. So I can start to once I get enough stuff trimmed out of it, we can start experimenting with some new features. But what we need to do right now, I need to oh, give me just 1 second. I am getting the dedicated server set up. Hang on just 1 sec, getting the submission all set up. It's there we go. 13 people should be the... Okay, so let's launch. Okay, if it says 13 people, we know we got the right mission running. Okay, game started. Okay, 13 people. What was I supposed to be testing? Oh, look at that, dude. We dropped the mission file by... So the mission file, when I was testing it a couple days ago, was 2,500. So the mission file was 2,500. We've already dropped it down to 1,300. So we've already dropped 1,200 kilobytes. That is amazing. Wait, what is that in math terms? Have we dropped like 50% of the mission already? Okay, so we're down to 1,300 divided by 2,500. Yeah, dude. We nailed it. We've nearly dropped the mission. We've dropped the mission file by 48% so far. So in just one night, we've removed half the code file size out of this mission. Which is, we still got a long way to go. That's about right, because when I did this a couple years ago, when I took this mission when it was in its earlier stages, I actually trimmed it down to the bare essential scripts to keep the mission running. And I dropped, I think it was 68% of the code. It was close to 70%. I dropped it 60 to 70%. So I think I can do that again. I might be able to do a lot more, to be honest, because this mission's got so big and bloated. But yeah, we're already down 48%. So I'll plan on doing another stream next Friday. I don't know when the EU11 update will drop, but that's what our real goal here is, to make sure we're familiar with the code. You know, we're in here, we're getting used to working with it. You know, I'm proficient with debugging and that kind of stuff. So whenever the playtest happens and people bring bugs up, I'm much more proficient and well versed, and I understand, like, you know, something as simple as like, where is, you know, file X? I can figure that out because I just spent a couple hours working with all these files. So yeah, that is so the more time you spend with the editor open, the better if you're trying to do stuff. So nothing beats repetition. So, okay. That's the end of the stream. I will see you guys probably next Friday. I might do some Reforger streams if the latest update of Reforger bricked the game, basically. So I wasn't doing it. I was kind of planning on doing some Reforger work this weekend, but I'm like, dude, no. They literally just completely bricked the game, so they get a patch out and it seems like they unbricked the game. I may do some Reforger work. I don't know though, that's pretty low priority. Biggest priority is just be ready for an update on U11 and get back to swing R3 stuff. So, yep, we'll see you guys.